What's up guys, Jason here. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a simple and efficient automatic Minecraft Bedrock mob and XP farm. This farm works on 1.19 and on all platforms of Minecraft Bedrock, whether you play on a phone, tablet, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, or PC. As you guys can see here, this farm allows you to easily get a lot of great loot. This farm is also a great easy way to get XP. The materials list for this farm is in the description. The first step is to choose an area to make the farm at. I recommend you make this farm over an ocean, however it is also okay if you make it over land. By the way, do not make this farm in a river biome. If you choose to make this farm over land, build up about 130 blocks from land. This farm should be at least 130 blocks above the ground below it. If you choose to make this farm over an ocean, first go to a part of the ocean that is at least 130 blocks away from land. Then place blocks from the ocean floor to the ocean surface. By the way, you can use any type of solid block that you want to make this farm. A couple examples of solid blocks include smooth stone or cobblestone. Now place 130 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After you are done building up 130 blocks, go back down to the bottom. Then place ladders from here to the top of the pillar. These ladders will allow you to easily get to the farm. After you have placed those ladders, place a block at this spot and 2 blocks over here. Then place 5 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then fill in the outline with blocks. This will be the trident killer platform. The next step is to place a piston at this spot. That piston should be facing this way. Now place another piston over here. That piston should be facing this way. Then place a piston at this spot. That piston should be facing that way. Now place a piston over here. That piston should be facing this way. After you are done placing the pistons, place an observer at this spot. The top arrow of that observer should be facing this way. Now place another observer over here. The top arrow of that observer should be facing this piston. Then place an observer at this spot. The top arrow should be facing that way. Now place an observer over here. The top arrow should be facing this piston. Then place an observer over here. The top arrow should be facing that way. Now place an observer at this spot. The top arrow should be facing that piston. Then place an observer at this spot. The top arrow should be facing this way. Now place an observer over here. The top arrow of that observer should be facing this piston. It's really important that the observers are facing the correct directions. The next step is to place 4 solid blocks over here and 3 over here. Then place 3 over here as well. The next step is to throw a trident at that piston. By the way, the trident can have any level of durability because it will not break in the farm. Then place a lever over here. Now flick it down. Once the pistons stop moving, flick it up. As you guys can see here, the piston should move around infinitely. Then flick this lever down. That should make the piston stop moving. The next step is to place 2 glass blocks over here and a stair at this spot. That stair should be placed like that. This spot will be where you collect the XP. The next step is to place 2 blocks over here and a block at this spot. Then place 2 blocks over here as well. Now place a block at each of these spots. After you have placed those blocks, go to this side. Then place blocks over here. Then go to the back. Now place blocks at each of these spots. Then go to this side. Then place blocks over here. Once you're done placing those blocks, the farm should look like that. The next step is to count down 4 blocks from this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place 2 blocks over here. Now place 4 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then crouch down and place 2 chests over here. Then crouch down and place a hopper over here. The nozzle of the hopper should be facing the chest. Now crouch down and place a rail at the spot. Now place a minecart with hopper on the rail. Then place a block at each of these spots. That will be the collection system of this farm. How it works is by having the minecart with hopper under one of the 4 blocks of the trident killer floor, the minecart with hopper will pick up items. The items will then get funneled down by that hopper into that chest. The next step is to place a torch over here. Now place a torch at each of these spots. Then place a torch at each of these spots as well. The torches will prevent mobs from spawning on those areas. The next step is to place water in that piston. The water should flow like that. That water will prevent mobs from dying or fall damage. That will cause them to get killed by the trident, so you will get XP. The next step is to place a block at each of these spots. Then place 27 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After you have placed 27 blocks, go back down here. Then place 27 blocks at each of these spots as well. Once you're done with that step, place a magma block at each of these spots. Then place a magma block at each corner. The magma blocks will kill any mobs that get stuck over here. The next step is to go to this spot, then build out 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then go to this spot. Now build out 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then go to this side. Now place 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now go to this spot. Then build out 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After you have created that outline, fill it in with solid blocks. After you are done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place 13 blocks in one corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Once you are done placing those 13 blocks, extend this 13 block high wall all the way around the entire platform. After you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to go to one corner. Then place 4 blocks over here. Then place 3 over here. Then place 2 blocks over here and 1 at this spot. Now place blocks like that in the other 3 corners. Once you are done placing those blocks, the farm should look like that. The next step is to create an infinite water source. To do that, go to one wall, then place 4 blocks. Now place 3 blocks over here, 3 over here, and 2 over here. Then place water at this spot and water over here. That should create an infinite water source. By creating the infinite water source, you will be able to use 2 buckets to fill in all the water for the rest of this farm. After you're done creating an infinite water source on a wall, place water at each of these spots. Once you are done placing the water should flow like that. The next step is to fill in and break the infinite water source. You will no longer need to place more water in this farm. At this point, the farm should look like that. It's important that the water flows correctly. The next step is to go over here. Then place 4 solid blocks at this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then break these 3 blocks. Then place 3 blocks over here. Now break these 2 blocks. Then place 3 blocks over here. Now break these 2 blocks. Then place 3 blocks over here. Now break these 2 blocks. Now place 3 blocks over here. Then break these 2 blocks. The next step is to place 13 solid blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The next step is to extend each of these other spots by 13 solid blocks as well. These rows are where mobs can spawn. After you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place a block at this spot and a glass block over here. Then break this block. Now place 13 glass blocks over here. The glass blocks will push 2 block tall mobs into the water whenever they spawn. The next step is to place glass blocks above each of the other rows. To do that, place a block over here, then place a glass block at this spot, then break this block. Now place 13 glass blocks over here. After you have placed the glass blocks, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place a solid block on each glass block. After you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place glass block rows that are 1 block above these blocks. To do that, place a block over here and a glass block at this spot, then break this block. Now place 13 glass blocks over here. After you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place a solid block on each of those glass blocks. After you're done with that step, place a row of glass blocks 1 block above each of those rows of solid blocks. After you're done placing those glass blocks, the farm should look like that. As you guys can see here, there should be 3 mob spawning layers. The next step is to create a roof by filling in this area with solid blocks. After you're done creating the roof, cover the roof with slabs. Once you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The slabs will prevent mobs from spawning on the roof so that the maximum amount of mobs spawn in the farm. I am now going to do a quick fly around so that you can check and make sure you've made this farm correctly. Over there should be the ladder. Over here there should be this trident killer and collection system. Over here there should be this tube. Finally up here there should be the spawning layers. As you guys can see here, there should be 3 mob spawning layers. Each mob spawning layer should look like this. Below the mob spawning layers there should be this water. The water should flow to the center tube. By the way, this room should be dark. The reason why it looks bright right now is because I have night vision. How this farm works is, whenever you stand on the trident killer platform, mobs can spawn on the mob spawning layers. Whenever mobs that are 2 blocks tall spawn, they will get pushed off by the glass blocks. They will then fall into water. Although spiders will not get pushed off by the glass blocks, they will eventually walk off the rows. They will then eventually fall into the water. All mobs that fall into the water will get pushed into the kill chamber. Whenever the trident killer is turned on, all the mobs down there will get automatically killed. You can collect the XP at the trident killer. All the loot will get funneled into the collections chest. Any mobs that get stuck over here will get automatically killed by the magma blocks. By the way, any baby zombies that spawn on the rows will eventually despawn. In this farm, mobs will be able to spawn both in the day and at night because this area is always dark. The reason it looked bright earlier is because I had night vision. I am now going to show you how to use this farm. To use it, first flick this lever up, then stand over here. Now all you need to do is wait. Mobs will spawn on the mob spawning layers, then get pushed down here. Whenever a mob falls down here, it will get automatically killed. You will collect the XP over here and the loot will get funneled down into the collections chest. By the way, if you want to get more loot at a time, you can hold a sword that is enchanted with looting 3. The looting 3 effect will be applied to the trident. Whenever you're done using the farm, you can flick this lever down. That will shut the trident killer system off. You can then collect the loot over here. As you guys can see here, all the loot will be in this chest. If this farm does not work for you, try switching your world difficulty to peaceful and then to hard. Also check to see if this spot is within about 130 blocks of land. If mobs spawn on land below this farm while you're standing over here, light up the land with torches. If you don't want to light up any land below the farm with torches, another option is to set the world simulation distance to 4 chunks. You can do that by leaving the world, then going into the world settings. If you have an issue with mobs hitting you while you stand over here, place a trapdoor at this spot, then open it. Then stand over here. The trapdoor will prevent mobs from being able to hit you. By the way, you will still be able to collect the XP. If you want to be able to store more loot at a time in this farm, you can expand the collection system. To do that, break this block, then crouch down and place a hopper over here. The nozzle of that hopper should be facing downwards. Then crouch down and place 2 chests over here. If you want to be able to store more loot at a time, you can place more hoppers and chests. To easily access the extended portions of the collection system, you can place blocks like this. If you create one of these paths, place a torch on the path to prevent mobs from spawning on it. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this simple and efficient automatic Minecraft Bedrock mob and XP farm. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other Minecraft videos. Thanks for watching.